In today's Chainsaw Man video, we'll show you why Pochita might not be a chainsaw devil and how exactly he gained the ability to erase other devils. All of this has to do with the Great War in Hell and the reason why he erased certain devils but killed those who asked him for help. Despite the fact that he waged a war against all the devils in Hell, he is still considered a hero of Hell. Why is that so? If you end up liking this video, consider subscribing. Please enjoy this video. Let's go! Last time we talked about why Pochita might be so powerful, and today we're talking about how and why he became so powerful. Here's the short summary of the first part with everything you need to know for today's video. The strength of a devil is determined by the amount of fear and the intensity of fear that the devil represents. But a chainsaw is not scary, so why is the chainsaw devil Pochita so powerful that he can even compete against the 4 horsemen devils? Control, hunger, war, and death, which were even supported by the gun devil. Besides the enormous strength of the chainsaw devil, the main evidence that something is suspicious about Pochita, which could indicate that he may not be a chainsaw devil, is his unique ability called devil erasure. The chainsaw devil is able to erase other devils so that the fear they represent disappears from the public consciousness, while also erasing the devil's physical existence. This ability has nothing to do with the understanding of chainsaw, so it's possible that Pochita is not really a chainsaw devil. But then what is he? For this, we need to understand what fear the devil erasure ability represents. Thereby I have mentioned 2 possibilities. Pochita could have the ability to extinguish fears by consuming their manifestations, that is, the devils representing that specific fear, and thus extinguish the devils themselves, because without the specific fear existing in the world, the devil cannot exist either. This is the fear extinction devil. The second possibility is similar, but instead of erasing fears, Pochita can erase everything from the collective consciousness of people. For example, if Pochita were to eat a person, that person could also be forgotten by everyone else. That would be the Be Forgotten devil. So we have the Fear Extinction devil or the Be Forgotten devil, or whatever could explain the erasure ability. For simplicity's sake, let's just combine all the possibilities and call it the Erasure devil. Now that we've talked about what fear this ability might represent, we just need to understand why and how Pochita has an attribute that is not associated with the traditional understanding of a chainsaw. And here I think it is possible that the reason Pochita gained this ability could have something to do with the fact that he slaughtered so many devils in Hell. This then triggered the war in Hell in which Pochita fought the 4 horsemen devil until he finally escaped Hell, half dead, which started the Chainsaw Man series when Denji found Pochita in this much weaker appearance. But why did he slaughter all devils? Not only those who bullied weak devils, but also the weak ones who asked him for help. This is so strange. And yet despite what he did, for some unknown reason, Pochita is considered a hero of Hell by many devils, even though he slaughtered those devils as well. He has people like the Shark Devil who are loyal to him even after they were reborn, even though they don't even know why they are loyal to him anymore. It is just so deep inside them that they cannot help but follow his command. Devils who have been reborn on Earth only remember the sound of the chainsaw engine, indicating that they too have been eliminated by the chainsaw devil. This makes sense because in order for a devil to be reborn on Earth, they must die in Hell. This shows how many devils Pochita actually killed in Hell. The general idea we have is that Pochita had 2 choices. Either he kills the devils so that they will be reborn on Earth, or he erases the devils so that they will be wiped out for good. There must be a reason why he decided to wipe out one part and kill the other. Considering the fact that he even killed those who cried out for his help, we can assume that he did them a favor by killing them, since they were thus reborn on Earth, giving them a chance to a better life. So they might have cried out for his help precisely because they wanted to be killed. But Makima misleadingly presented it as if Pochita eliminated all the devils who cried out for his help against their will. And that is what we think happened. Pochita started cleaning up for some reason. He separated good from evil. The proof of this is that Pochita has killed Makima 26 times and refuses to erase her even though he has clearly erased many other devils. The reason for this is that Pochita revealed at the end of Chainsaw Man Part 1 that Makima is actually not that evil and that Denji just has to give her a lot of hugs to make her a good person, because through the influence of Hell, the devils are made into evil creatures. Of course, there is a natural tendency for many devils to be evil, but there are also many devils who are not evil, and Makima has clearly shown that she actually had very good goals. But here I would like to mention that Pochita may not wipe out Makima because the concept of control is very important to humans. Without control, any system we have built will disappear and the world will fall into chaos. This would cause a lot of suffering that would result even in more fear, which would make devils even stronger. Nevertheless, the basic idea is still the separation of good and evil. This means that at some point something must have happened that caused Pochita to do what he did. The chainsaw is only a few hundred years old, but it seems that the Great War in Hell with the 4 horsemen devils against Pochita took place only recently, and that war was certainly due to what Pochita did in Hell with all the other devils. The 4 horsemen devils probably wanted to stop Pochita from continuing this massacre. All of this could be an indication that Pochita only recently got the ability to erase other devils. Why else has he waited all these years to start this war? However, one must also consider that this conflict between Pochita and the 4 horsemen devil may have been going on for hundreds of years, because as Makima revealed, Pochita was able to kill Makima 26 times. Of course, Makima was reborn each time and all this takes a little time. We know that the control devil now is Nayuta, and Nayuta has absolutely no memories and is also very young. So if you look at 26 rebirth, this could have been a long time. Aside from when exactly this conflict started, how did Pochita even get this ability in the first place? There are 4 possibilities. First, a contract with a devil. Second, consuming a part of a devil and thereby obtaining certain abilities of that devil. Third, by developing the fear and thereby gaining additional abilities associated with this fear. And the 4th possibility might even be my favorite, but because it is so different from the other options, I will explain it separately first and then go into the other 3 possibilities in more detail. The 4th possibility is that Pochita is neither a chainsaw devil nor an erasure devil, but he represents the fear of a creature from a fairy tale or legend, a creature from a story told only in hell, a creature that has chainsaws and the ability to erase devils, which is the greatest fear of all devils since they are actually considered immortal. In scary stories, things are often told that do not exist, and then naive and young people start to be afraid of the things told in such scary stories. This creates fear from which a new devil is born. So if people can be afraid of fictional things, then this could also be the case with devils. And since Pochita looks like his abilities are specifically against devils, it could be that if he represents the fear of a fictional being, that this story about that being came from hell and was told among devils. Pochita could be this bizarre character of the story described as a being that uses chainsaws and has the ability to erase devils. And because this being kills and erases devils, this is what Pochita started to do in hell. So Pochita will not be the chainsaw devil and therefore does not represent the fear of chainsaws, but the fear of Pochita himself. For this, there is perhaps even a small hint in the Chainsaw Man series. Not only the number of people who fear a specific fear with greater intensity makes the devil representing the specific fear stronger, but the fear of the specific devil itself also makes this devil stronger, at least in the case of the Chainsaw Devil. We know that because people began to love the Chainsaw Man, it caused Pochita to become weaker. So the opposite must also be true. If people start to be more afraid of a devil without even knowing what fear the devil might represent, then the devil must become stronger. But here we are faced with a possible contradiction. We know that the strength of a devil is related to the fear the devil represents. However, if there's a way to make a devil stronger or weaker without changing the intensity and quantity of people who are afraid of that fear, then it means that the fear itself does not really play a fixed role. Because if, for example, all people stop being afraid of a certain devil and even start loving and idolizing that devil, then it could be that through this great intensity of people's affection for that devil, that devil becomes so weakened that it then possibly even ceases to exist. And so, because of the connection with devils and fears, this could possibly mean that the fear that this particular devil represents must be erased from the consciousness of all people as well. It is hard to imagine that this is how it works, but using Pochita as an example, it could be the case. Unless the effect of worshipping a particular devil will never be able to weaken the devil to the point where they can no longer exist. This would be a solution to avoid this plot hole. However, there's another solution to explain this problem, and that is that this phenomenon only applies to Pochita, because Pochita represents the fear of Pochita himself. When people start love him, then logically they love the creature that is Pochita, making Pochita weaker. For example, if you look at Makima, she's a woman, using her ability to make other people worship her. This is a great attribute of the control devil. The same goes for the war devil, who has to make people her own so she can create weapons. So these two devils do exactly what should make them weaker, however, it has no effect on their strength. Here people don't start to like control or war, but simply the person who represents these fears. As long as that person does not represent themselves, it will have no effect. Makima is not the Makima devil, but the control devil. People do not start to like control, but Makima, so Makima herself does not become weaker. So if it is true that Pochita represents the fear of Pochita, then it makes sense why he becomes weaker when people start worshipping him, because he is the Pochita devil. However, this possibility is very specific. Yami will now continue this video with the 3 possibilities that are a bit simpler and relatively similar. Have fun!
Alright, the first possibility is that Pochita has a contract with another devil. Either he gained the ability to erase, or Pochita always had this ability and instead gained the ability of a chainsaw, which made us think that he's a chainsaw devil, when in fact he's not. So either Pochita is originally a chainsaw devil or the eraser devil. At this point we must mention that it is not known whether devils can make contracts with other devils. For example, we know that fiends cannot make contracts with a devil. This has been clearly confirmed, but it has never been mentioned whether a devil can make a contract with another devil. The second possibility is that Pochita either consumed a large part of the real chainsaw devil if Pochita is the eraser devil and thus gained the ability of a chainsaw, or that Pochita consumed a large part of the eraser devil if Pochita is originally the chainsaw devil and thus gained the ability to erase things. This is one way people can gain the powers of other devils, by consuming their flesh. We have seen, for example, how the Eternity Devil consumed the flesh of the Gun Devil and became much stronger as a result. But in this case, we have not seen the Eternity Devil gain new abilities associated with the Gun Devil, as we have seen with Santa Claus, for example. Santa Claus is a person who makes contracts with devils, and by eating the flesh of the Darkness Devil, for example, she made a contract with the Darkness Devil and thereby gained certain abilities. However, this was literally a contract, and it was made by eating flesh, so that Santa Claus became a part of the Darkness Devil. It seems that eating devil's flesh is not enough to gain abilities from this devil. It must be done on the condition of a contract, which again is not known if devils can make contracts with other devils. But one thing is certain, if this possibility is the case, then it only works as long as the flesh they ate belongs to the current life cycle of the devil whose flesh was eaten. If the devil dies and is reborn, then the leftover flesh is no longer connected to that devil. The proof is that Denji ate Makima, but nothing happened because the control devil was now Nayuta. The third possibility is that Pochita evolved because of the fear he represents. In that fear, the fear he represents was associated with either a chainsaw if he is the eraser devil, or with erasing things if he is the chainsaw devil. If this is confusing to you, always remember the example with the swords and darkness, or teleportation to hell. The Darkness Devil can create swords, probably because he is a primal devil, and at some point in the Middle Ages, people were afraid of swords when they were in the dark, because that was the #1 weapon used to attack people back then, especially at night when you can't really defend yourself. So because of that, the Darkness Devil can summon swords. The Hell Devil can teleport people to hell and back to earth, because people are afraid of ending up in hell after they die on earth. So, if a certain attribute is associated with a certain fear in a period of human history, when that fear was present, then that attribute can become a part of the devil's abilities. For example, if for whatever the reason, the devils in hell began to associate the eraser devil with a chainsaw, perhaps because Pochita somehow managed to bring a chainsaw from the human world to hell and began to slaughter everyone there with the chainsaw, then that could mean that through that, Pochita evolved and gained the ability of chainsaws. Of course, it is also possible that the Eraser Devil used the Chainsaw Devil as a weapon, as Denji did with Pochita before they entered into a contract. However, this possibility would mean that there is a real Chainsaw Devil who derives his power from the fear of chainsaws associated with Pochita. This would give the real Chainsaw Devil an easy power-up when Pochita is increasingly feared by other devils because of the association with chainsaws. In these 3 possibilities just mentioned, there is usually always some sort of connection between the Chainsaw Devil and what we call the Eraser Devil, regardless of which one of them is Pochita. But why should the Eraser Devil have this connection to the Chainsaw Devil at all? Well, it could be because, for example, even though the concept of erasing things is powerful, the Eraser Devil is still weak when it comes to physical combat because the fear of extinction is not really connected to a physical attribute. In fact, we don't really know what it means for a devil to become stronger when the fear that that devil represents becomes more feared. We don't know if the devil gains physical strength or if their abilities simply become stronger. That is, if the physical manifestation of a devil is simply not made for fighting, and if the fear also has nothing to do with strength, then how would that devil gain physical strength? And even if they do, how would they have any use for it? For example, if they have no mouth with which they can bite, no legs with which they can kick, or no arms with which they can punch, well, just think of the Grip Devil. It is literally just a connection of eyeballs connected by veins and appendages. How does physical strength help this devil in battle when it can't even move properly or have any way to do damage? The main problem with such a devil is that it simply does not have the physical appearance for combat, no matter how powerful it could become. The only way such a devil would fight would be if they gained some other abilities, such as chainsaws instead of those weird appendages, or use a chainsaw. Imagine a hypothetical scenario where there is a very deadly disease outbreak on Earth and that is spread by grapes. And with it, the grape devil becomes more powerful because now everyone is afraid of grapes. The grape devil would certainly gain power. But what does power mean in this example? Certainly, it would gain the ability to create this disease due to the fear evolution because it is now associated with grapes. But what about the physical attributes? How does this give the grape devil an advantage? It is still just a bunch of useless eyeballs unable to fight effectively. Well, in this case, a chainsaw would be a good option to become more effective in combat. Then of course, it depends on why a devil would intend to be more powerful in the first place when it comes to physical combat. In Pochita's case, it was clearly the intention to slaughter other devils in hell. But as we have assumed, it seems that Pochita killed most of the devils because they asked him to, so that they could be reborn in a better place. So if Pochita is the eraser devil, perhaps he had no way to kill devils without erasing them at the same time, which is why he was somehow given the ability of a chainsaw to kill other devils without them ceasing to exist. This of course must have happened due to one of the three mentioned possibilities. Or maybe the eraser devil had problems consuming devils that he wanted to erase, because without the right tools for the fight, he would easily die himself before he would even have the chance to eat other devils, which is why he used the chainsaw. But as mentioned before, it could also be for some reason it wasn't the eraser devil that got the chainsaw ability, but the chainsaw devil that got the ability to erase things. Again, there are many possibilities. It could be that the eraser devil voluntarily gave this ability so that Pochita could wipe out the evil devils. Or maybe Pochita somehow took this ability by force. Well, there are quite a few possibilities as I have just said. When you put it all together, you come to a very simple conclusion. Either Pochita is a mythical creature that comes from a story told in hell, which is how this bizarre fear came to be, or Pochita has either acquired the ability of a chainsaw or the ability to erase things. The reason is that he wanted to destroy the evil devils and save the good devils. That's it for today, folks. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, don't forget to smash the like button, and if you're new to our channel, make sure you subscribe with the notification bell turned on. See you guys in the next video. Yami out.